shout them out. Now, it's a lot easier for me to hear them and to answer them. You want one of these? That's the first question. Yes, you can have one. Give me a second. What is this? Is this a snacker jar? Chocolate snacker. You want one of them? Right, come back in another.
Good boy. Excellent.
Good man. That'll do. I've got them here.
Hello everyone, part 2. We're on
the
part
other
2 of shearing with Cammy and Lizzie.
The other one is
Lizzie's
here
on the
somewhere.
shears now.
So,
Look at her go.
aye, somebody can see them, can you? Aye, it'll be here. It won't go far. You don't know what they look like. Just bring them back here at some point. So yeah. So to go on a wee interesting story, Lizzie shared right here. Lizzie and I actually first met at a shearing competition. No, it's a show, Stranraer show. And we've got some Stranraer gallery people in, do we? Yeah, there we go. So Stranraer show, it's a good wee show actually, down obviously in Stranraer. And there was a speed shear on. And a speed shear is a thing where you basically try, you get a lamb and you try.
Hopefully you can hear Cammy alright, let me know. Let me know if you can hear Cammy okay.
The fastest time wins. Now, neither Lizzie or I won that day, I will say, but I was quite new to shearing at that point, and I've never actually seen like a female
No sound,
shearing.
this isn't working, see.
So I was quite like, oh wow, this is like, girls can do it too. For me, especially in the early days, shearing was all about muscles and holding the sheep hard, you know, and you saw how much of a fight here was me and me. But as I got to learn a bit more about shearing, you realise it's all about technique more than actual strength.
We're back on YouTube, guys. We're all sorted.
Lizzie is quite strong, I must admit. So that was where I first met Lizzie, and I saw her she was standing in the bar afterwards, and she looked pretty miserable. I think she looked at herself. You've got that kind of face at times, is that right? But she says that. She says it's a resting face, and I just thought it was a wee challenge to go and speak to her and give her a bit of chat and see if we could get a laugh out of her. I didn't. That's right. Still haven't actually. That's about 10 years now. Since that, I still never got a laugh out of her. But she's. I just always remember thinking, yeah, quite incredible seeing a female shearer, and it really opened my eyes up to the whole thing. And interestingly, Lizzie's show her. Like I've never actually been a full-time shearer. I've only ever show her in the summer in Scotland around my own work. And before I was full-time farming, I was in the police before that, so I only did it on my holidays. Whereas Lizzie's actually been a full-time professional sheep shearer. And she would spend her whole year, bar the spring where she'd be at home lambing, she'd spend her whole year shearing sheep. So she'd travel from...
Right, Facebook sorted, we're back on live on Facebook.
South of England, then she'd come up to Scotland, then she would do a stint in Norway, shearing over there, and then she would go to New Zealand or Australia. She did Australia before as well.
You hear okay on YouTube, guys? Let us know on YouTube. Facebook is back on, so we should be all good on Facebook.
So and she did that for
if you could give us a wee thumbs up on YouTube, it'd be awesome.
New Zealand shearing.
Right, we're starting to get some love hearts. Some people joined us on Facebook again. The mics had went wonky, I don't know what was going on with them.
And making a fortune with the crux it, because the great thing when you're shearing, you're not spending money. All you do is working. And especially in the UK, they don't get weekends off or there's no days off. You occasionally get a day off.
Excellent, everyone joined us. Loads of likes coming in. Perfect, perfect. We're all sorted now.
Lizzie would just be shearing all day, every day. All around the world. And even in the spring when she wasn't shearing, she'd be lambing sheep. And actually, that was partly how Lizzie and I eventually got together. She came and lambed sheep for me. And I remember thinking, it would be great if I didn't have to pay for this. So I thought, how will I do that? You can use your imagination for the rest of it. So yeah, that is the crux of how Lizzie and I ended up getting together. And it's been bliss ever since, isn't it? 3 kids later.
Wry smile from Lizzie.
3 kids later, then a few sheep shorn, and a few sheep lambed, and now obviously we have our own wee farm and stuff like that. And we're working towards buying a few more acres to go with it. But things are going great. I tell you, it's been good the last.
That's fine, I'll just leave it on here. Facebook is sound okay, guys? Sound alright on Facebook?
There hasn't been much of a gap, so that's really impacted our ability to shear.
Thank you for the super chat, Carol Laudermilk. Thanks so much. Good to hear you enjoyed the stream.
Bonnie, who's the youngest one, the little baby you see going about. I think you showed her sheep with maggots like the day before she was born, was that right? Yeah, and then she ended up coming out £11.10, was it? £10.12, sorry. £10 12 should come out. So the day before Bonnie was born, she had £10 12 baby in her.
Go give them one of these YouTube mics.
Some sheep with maggots, so quite impressive. But I'm sure it feels a lot easier to shear now, does it? Aye, easier with the baby in there. A bit lighter, she says. Not so much weight on the back. Well, I think she used to be able to rest the bump on the sheep's head and it took the pressure right off the back.
Just going to sort the sound for Cammy here.
No worries.
There we go, that should be it sorted now.
So Lizzie, as you see there, Lizzie uses the very same technique I use.
Steve's away,
Virtually everybody now that's learning to shear will learn this way. Steve, that you saw earlier, used quite an old school method of doing it, and of course using the blades as well. But the technique with the blades isn't as important as it is with the shears, because with these shears here, you're very much tied to the machine. So you have to keep your sheep in a certain spot, in a certain position, so that your machine is always on the right side of you. But with the blades, it doesn't matter, you can move about anywhere. As sometimes happened here as Steve was shearing, if the sheep gave a little wriggle or moved about, it didn't actually matter, because as long as you get the blades in your hand, you can shear them anywhere. And that is another great thing about the blade shearing.
Sheila, thank you for the super
chat. Technique is very important here.
For a reason. Thank you, Sheila. Updates coming out again later on tonight, later on this evening. I'm just going to let Cammy talk away here.
How many sheep would you shear in a year, was it? Do you know?
Just listen to Cammy.
So she says on her biggest shear she did 37,000 sheep. So it's a fair bit, you know, at £1, whatever you'll be getting then, £1.10, £1.20, it comes to a good bit of money when you've next to no expenses. And then she met me and I used all her money to buy more sheep. But that is actually a true story.
Cammy, are you at optimum amount of sheep now?
No, Ben was asking if you're at the optimum amount of sheep now. I would say no. I would say, well, touchy subject, but I would say, I would say here right now in front of Lizzie, honestly, I would put on another 500-600.
Would you? Have you got the ground for it?
We've got the ground for it. We just don't have the money for it. That's the bother. Yeah. So going to buy a breeding sheep just now. Every breeding sheep. These girls are a bit older, but to buy, but to buy them at 2 years old under prime, like Marion we saw there earlier, the one that Ben bought from Thornborough's, the charity sheep, she'd be about £200 to buy. So every sheep you buy is 200. Breeding sheep is about £200. So you can imagine, you're not at a lot of sheep, so you're at big money, It's
well, the thing is, Cammy, five sheep's nothing.
Yeah, Ben's saying, five sheep is, 5 sheep takes up that wee pocket there and there's £1,000 away.
Yeah, five sheep isn't enough really to do anything with or make any money with, but you need to spend £1,000 to get them.
Yeah.
It takes so much making to make that profit to buy 5 sheep. It's hard going, isn't it, to build the flock up?
Well, it is. I mean, look, if I go and buy 50 sheep, it's 10 grand. It comes to, it's crazy. It's crazy. In fact, we recently just bought cattle. I've got even worse recently. We're trying to stock up with cattle, and we went and bought 10 heifers, which is like a gimmer. It's like she's come into her second year, a young cow, and 10 of them cost 30 grand. And 10 cows take up like a wee space like that. It's nothing. And you look at it, and it's like a year's wages right there.
Yeah.
Like 30 grand. The difference with sheep and cattle, if I spend 30 grand on sheep, I'll get the 30 grand back in the first year. If I spend 30 grand on cattle, it'll be the guts of 3 years before I get a return on that. And even then, maybe not, because any female calves I have, I'll keep to grow the herd. So it's a really, really long-term investment, the cattle. Once you're up and running and selling cattle every year, you're laughing now. Yeah. But it's a real long-term investment.
And that's because it takes so long for the calf to mature before you can actually send it for meat. That's why it takes so long to get the money back out of them, because it's around 30 months that you'd send a calf off for slaughter, and that is why it takes so long to get your money back out of them. The rewards are obviously much greater at the end, but it does take that extra time and extra feeding, obviously, to get the calf to that point.
Yeah, whereas you have a lamb in April, it's ready to go to the butcher in August. It's the 4 months, it's incredible. Whereas that calf, as you say, could be 2 years plus. So the beef job is It's very difficult. It's better now, there's good money in it now. You know, for years there was just no money in beef. It was very, very marginal and very, very difficult to make it pay.
The beef price is so good just now. I spoke to a guy in Castle Douglas. You've been at Castle Douglas for County?
Yeah.
Amazing little town, by the way. If anyone's here visiting, I highly recommend going to Castle Douglas. It's like a traditional little town, about half an hour from here. But it's got its greengrocers, butchers, bakers. It's like, it has a Tesco, of course, on the outside of town, but still stays to the roots where you've got your individual little traders. So I always like to go in and support them. So I went to 2 different butchers and a bakers and a greengrocers to get all our shopping for the week. I took Florence out to, we're going to get a lamb creek feeder, which you always tie into work somehow for a day out, don't you?
Yeah. Went in, it means you can put the diesel through as a business expense.
Exactly. It's all claimable. So we went into the butchers, and the guy was telling me from December until May, he made no money at all. It covered putting the lights on and the business rates, but because it was so expensive to buy the beef in, there was no margin. So you just had to ride it out until the beef price came down a wee bit, which it has now. But that shows you how high the beef prices were, and the farmers are doing really well, which is good to see. But it has a knock-on effect. If the farmers are doing well, it makes it harder for other small businesses as well. So you kind of want somewhere, a happy medium, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, the crux of it is the supermarket can take the loss on the beef. So the supermarket can keep their prices down and take a bit of a loss on it, but the butcher cannot do that.
And a lot of the supermarket beef will be contracted as well, so they'll have to stick to that price, and that'll be done months in advance. So they'll maybe not get the high prices as what the individual butchers do. So it does just show you there's a lot of different supply elements and supply chains that have to come together. Yes, it's great the farmers are doing well, but we want everyone to do well and keep the whole industry moving.
So that's a big Suffolk here. This might be the first Suffolk we've done today. A fantastic breed, really popular. The Suffolk Ram's really popular for a meaty breed. The butchers love them, as we mentioned earlier. Fantastic carcass on the lambs. Another one gone there. A wee Herdwicks here. You'll quite like Shearing the Jacob, eh? Nice skins, nice size.
This will be the last shearing of the Herdwicks at Bilscon, unfortunately, because they do not suit us. They just don't suit us. We've got one field in the whole farm that we can keep them in.
Is that right?
And the lambs have done amazing this year. Some of the best lambs we've got in the farm. We just cannot keep them in, and they're going to have to go, unfortunately. We'll sell them the lambs, probably sell them the lambs at 2.
The interesting thing with Herdwicks is that's not just you that has that problem. The Herdwick is just wired to roam. You know, it wants to be in a big fell in Cumbria, loads of scope. And I know a few people with them and have that same problem. They spend their whole time looking for a way out of the field. And because they're small, they don't need that big a hole.
So we're kind of thinking though that we might be able to keep a few of the yow lambs on from this year and see if they're trained enough at the farm they're not going to escape, or whether it's actually built into them and they're just going to disappear anyway regardless.
Like that genetic thing, eh? Like, genetically awkward. I think they'll still try and break out. But think of the content, mate. Think of the content.
I'm thinking of the call at 3:30 in the morning. Get down the Edinburgh Road. They're coming up towards you. I have to leave the. I went. Honestly, this is no word of a lie. Joe phoned me 3 o'clock in the morning. Get out onto the main road. They're coming towards you. I went from sound asleep to sprinting down the road in about 45 seconds. And for days, I was it knocked me off. So what was going on there? What actually happened? True enough, 30 of them out running along the road.
The worst of it is Ben sleeps in the bus. Good job you weren't there.
So yeah, I think for us and for where we are especially as well,
busy.
Not as bad where if you're in a remote farm somewhere, or even better if you're on a hill farm, you're probably going to keep herdies anyway. But for where we are, it is difficult. There's a lot of passing traffic. There's a lot of housing estates round about, which is great for the farm park. Don't get me wrong, but provides different challenges for farming as well.
Is anyone bothered with dogs?
Yes, actually, we did. Yeah, we've had 2 incidents this year of the dogs. One at the llamas and alpacas, and another one a guy had came with his new spaniel pup just before lambing time, and wanted to use our overflow car park as a place to run the dog. It slipped under the gate and was chasing the inland sheep round about. And
Was it?
not best pleased, but I was filming every one that happened. Then I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to film them anymore. I'm done with it. We'll just deal with it internally. So.
Is that because you don't want people to hear how many swear words you can fit into a minute?
It's actually, do you know the real reason? Because the last person that we had a dog issue with down in the field had said that the dogs weren't chasing her, and she actually turned out to be one of my neighbours.
Oh, so it made it awkward.
So it's still awkward.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So I'd rather stay out of the situation.
Well, I don't know, partly that reason too, but various other reasons. But if anyone's seen any of the videos I have of dog attacks, I always blur out the face of the people. And for various reasons. One thing I always say, and one problem farmers have with the dog attack thing is, you don't know these people, you don't know where they live, you don't know much about them, but they know where you live. And I remember stories from my policing days, like these mental dogs, and quite often the people that own them aren't the nicest people, and next thing you hear about is a hay shed getting burned down or something. So that's why I blur the face, that way they can't come back and say, because the person's unidentifiable. That's the idea of that. It's not actually so much to protect him, it's more so I can sleep at night without worrying. And quite often they're decent folk. Like the last I had one a while ago where the dog chased a sheep into the river. He's just a decent old boy that just thinks these dogs great, but it's no, so
And the thing is, we're all very aware that we can have a lapse of judgment, and that you can make a mistake in the blink of an eye, and it just happens and they get away. It's frustrating for us, and that's also why I don't like filming it as well, because actually it probably doesn't give away the best version of yourself, because we're so frustrated and wanting to protect our animals that you don't probably come across the best on it either. And although I think everyone understands, I just think it's something that's probably best not online. And we don't put anyone's faces or anything on either, but it's just it causes too many complications. I don't think it's needed. And normally they know they've made a mistake anyway. That's bad enough. The guilt of them hurting the animals is bad enough. These people own dogs anyway, so they're dog lovers, they're animal lovers, so they're not wanting to see any harm. It's just, it's still frustrating though. It's very frustrating.
So another Herdwick here for Lizzie. Quite a few Herdwicks you've got, eh? How many do you have of these Herdwicks?
I think there's about 20.
Just went at my coffee. Jeez, that was bad. It affected me worse than it affected you. I was right there at it.
It is sore that in the ears,
that was something. That was something. I used to actually wear, when I shear full days, I wear the earplugs just to protect the ears for that vibrating all the time. I'm always worried about tinnitus or something like that, just for that vibrating. Shearers are shocking for health and safety, like they just work away, baking hot sun and all these things that doesn't worry them. Does anybody get any questions about shearing? Any questions for Lizzie? I can ask her. Don't be shy. Just put your hand up or shout them out any time. Do you have a question? Did you get that one, Ben? I've absolutely blew my eardrums out with that thing there.
Yeah, why do you wear special shoes when you're shearing?
Yeah, so the special moccasins. Christoph, can you throw me that one over there? So these are leather moccasins.
Get the questions in online as
so
well, guys.
The idea of these, hopefully you can see there. The idea of these, really old fashioned. I mean, we've been wearing these since the dawn of time to shear sheep. The main thing with it is there's no sole. So the difference between my foot and this, is about an inch of a sole on this, so you're quite far away from the board. So when I'm reaching over, trying to shear the sheep, I've got much further to go to get there. The other benefit of it, you're on these boards here, and these boards have got grooves in them. They've actually got quite a good bit of grip in these boards, but it gives you great grip on all parts of your foot. So if I'm rolling my foot over, when my foot's like that, I'll have a very thin part of the sole that's gripping. When you roll over on a moccasin, with that hole round it gripping, it frees your ankle up, your ankle can roll, because as I said earlier, 80% of sheep shearing is footwork. Everybody's watching the blades and all that, but it's all about where Lizzie's feet go and how she takes little steps round and moves her feet about. That's what controls the sheep. Also, because it's thin, it gives you great control. You feel the sheep. It sounds weird to say, but you can feel the sheep when she's thinking about tensing up, or when she's like, I don't quite like this, she'll start to squirm a wee bit. So you can just adjust. I saw Lizzie do it a second ago. She felt the sheep was a bit uncomfortable. She just moved its head, just tweaked her foot, just to sit and relax it. And that is the main reason for them. They also look amazing. Is the other thing. Very fashionable. I've got lovely red laces here. Lizzie's got blue laces. Apart from that, there's not many other ways to style them.
There's no way Colin couldn't put a wee red sheep game logo on the side of that, surely.
We probably could merch them up, couldn't we? I think these have Heineken on them on the other side, but yeah, we could merch them up for the fun. Definitely could. But it does, they can be painful if you decide to nip to the car for a drink of juice and it's all big stones and you stand on a stone. That's when they're not so good.
Can we talk a wee bit about the Fed by Farmers podcast and how things are going with that? Who have you got upcoming? What's your plans with it?
Yeah, so a Fed by Farmers podcast as well. Obviously, we need to get Farmer Pete on.
Clearly.
We're still trying to get that one past Ben. We'll get Farmer Pete on the podcast at some point. It's been really popular, absolutely wild. I think we are the top agriculture. I would go farming. We talk some farming stuff, but most of it's kind of banter and life stories and things like that. But it's been going great. We've got a guy called James Little on next week, who is the auctioneer at Carlisle Market. And interestingly, we have this disease in the UK just now called blue tongue, which is causing real issues. And I've now brought in this new border where sheep can no longer move from England into Scotland. Sheep or cattle, but cattle can if they're vaccinated, but there's no sheep can move into Scotland now from England. So you imagine even places like down here at Dumfries, we're pretty close to the border. So, I mean, and there is some farms that farm on both sides of the border. So, you know, they could have sheep in England, but they bring them home to the farmer in Scotland, and it opens up a whole can of worms for things. I think the idea of thinking of that is it's the midgie that transfers the disease. So the midgie bites an infected sheep or cow, and then if they bite another sheep or cow, it spreads the disease like that. And I think we're kind of hoping here in Scotland that our climate is cold enough that the disease doesn't come to us, but it has opened up a whole can of worms. So the podcast this week is talking about that. I better deal with that one.
So I heard from our vet.
Did you fall? Or just get lost? Are you out, Mum?
I heard from our vet yesterday, Cammy, they're expecting blue tongue in Dumfries, end of August, beginning of September.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cheery.
It's in Lancashire just now, so he's saying that really we need to be starting to vaccinate now.
Is he? Are you going to do it?
Yeah, we're probably going to do it, yeah. £2.60 a dose.
It's a lot of money.
So you know it is expensive.
Well, I have to be done twice, do they? Or once?
No, cattle twice, sheep once.
That's not so bad. Alright. Well,
apparently cattle need to be done now because of the period
it takes.
Yeah, for the time it takes for the vaccine to be effective, cattle need to be done first. So apparently the way it works is dairy cattle will get done first because they're the hardest working. They want to protect them and protect their livelihood. Then it'll be sheep. Then it'll be beef cattle.
Okay.
Is what they're thinking.
Yeah, it's another big cost factor. And we've obviously about the now we're probably about 1,500 sheep that need vaccinated. So it's a lot of money.
Only breeding stock apparently they're saying now.
Yeah.
But even 1,500 sheep at £2.60 a dose.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
I mean, tell us those figures.
$4,000 odd, something like that. Too much. I'm half hoping, from a selfish point of view, I'm hoping that all of England vaccinate and then it doesn't come up here. But see if you get it, mate. See, because it comes up for the south. See if you get it. Ping me a text, will you?
Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah.
Text me and I'll get out and get mine vaccinated.
Blue tongue here, do something.
So for cattle, it's not actually such an impact in cattle. It causes infertility. It can cause other things like lameness, poor appetite, loss of condition. It won't really be fatal in cattle, but in sheep, it can be, I think it's about 25% mortality rate. So infected animals, 25% of them will die. Big swollen tongue, very similar symptoms to foot and mouth in some ways, and that's caused a bit of panic down south. Somebody thought there was foot and mouth, because that's apparently in Europe as well, just now. So there's all these things. warmer winters have been a big factor. So these midges, because it's milder, the midges are coming across the channel from Europe on these mild, warm winters, especially down south. Even here it's been milder and wetter, and well, actually even last winter wasn't too wet. Unbelievably mild though. You know, we haven't had a right cold, solid snow frost period for a while, and that's part of the bother. But that is the symptoms. Cattle, it's not so bad. Although infertility is a disaster in cattle because it's so much money to keep them if you can't get them in calves.
See,
You can, yes, you can. If they're infected, you can kill them. You can, but I suppose the big thing is, yeah, you can. Sheep not so easy. If they've got bad symptoms, you couldn't send them to market. But
so a sleep lesson. I think he's got his hand on
oh,
your mic.
Oh, right, that's okay.
Sorry, pal.
No, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put them in the car for a sleep. Give me 1 second, folks. I'll put them in the car for a sleep. I'll come round the side of this and not hit that. If you hit that mute button, it maybe will only go mental on that. The wee one.
That's it. Perfect. 2 seconds. I think I'm another speaker anyway, so I'm okay. But the likes of this kind of situation for farmers is really difficult with the blue tongue virus. And one of the awards that Cami was, one of the award ceremonies that Cami was presenting last year, which I was lucky enough to be up for, didn't win, sore point. But it was the Future of Farming Award. So it's Future of Farming. So it's any farmer under the age of 34 that thinks going to be the future of the industry. And I was shortlisted for that, which was a real honour. And Cami was presenting it. And one of the questions that the judges, we had to do a panel. So they had a big long list of people who were nominated, and then we had to do a panel interview with the 4 heads of agriculture. And one of the questions that they asked is, what is the biggest challenges that you see in agriculture? And you're not allowed to, you're not got any pre-preparation or anything for these interviews. It's just you're going in, they could ask you anything and you have to be prepared. So I found that quite a difficult question to answer, but the blue tongue virus was one of the points that I raised, that we really need to get a vaccine, and thankfully, like we're saying, they do have a vaccine now and it's been pretty effective. So that was one of the main issues, and that was back in August last year. So this has been about and raising its head for quite a while, and it originally started down south in England, and it's just working its way up. It's in Lancashire now, so it's getting closer to here, and it's inevitable that it's going to end up coming and hitting up in where we are. So if we can get them vaccinated, we'll be fine. Our breeding stock will be okay, and hopefully we can avoid any damage. But this kind of thing that raises its head, you know, even for Cami, £4,000 to vaccinate his herd. And what you'd like to see is the government starting to subsidise the vaccine. That, you know, this isn't something anyone's making. They've done it with the COVID vaccine. It's actually much the same. You know, this is something that's going to be more or less a pandemic if it happens, wipe out a lot of livestock in Britain. So we need to be on top of it. So some subsidies would be fantastic. Whether it happens, I don't know. Under the current government, I would say absolutely not. Cameron?
Are you talking Scottish or British?
British.
Okay. Just checking. Controversial. No, I don't think they are going to subsidise it. To be fair, and it's a strange one, because I thought they probably would. Cause interestingly as well, if you get it, there's no compensation paid out on the stock, whereas with foot and mouth it was all paid out on the stock.
Yep.
Although that was slightly different because there was compulsory cull involved in that.
And that is what Cami's speaking of, the compulsory payout and the.
Did you get that down here?
This is how we started the farm park.
Oh, is it? From foot and mouth?
So the foot and mouth, we got foot and mouth. We were stuck in the farm for weeks and weeks. We weren't allowed to leave, and then if we did get a permit to leave, we had to get it signed and written off, disinfect the wheels before we went out anywhere in the car, and we were all really young at the time. But we lost all of our animals down in the fields where the sheep have just came from. We've got barley in just now. Dug great big troughs in there, and all the animals were burned. It was horrible. I remember sitting on the couch with Joe. We were just really young at the time and saying, I don't like this. And there's men in white suits wandering about everywhere with the masks and totally white suit up. And it was really scary for kids at that time. It's scary for adults as well. But with that money that we got from having to cull in cull all our animals, and the compensation that we got is how we started the soft play, and things started moving from there. So 21 years down, and 21 years that we've been going in the farm park and the soft play, but that was the turning point, as was COVID for a lot of people and their businesses, to change the business. You know, it gave that break to look at things and reassess and say, what are we going to do? And the idea was that we're going to be, Pete's idea was the farm was never big enough to sustain all of us, 2 boys and Alice. So, you know, there's a few wages that we need to be paid if we're all going to come into the business, and the farm wasn't going to cover it, so we need to diversify. And very hard work, but you know, it does support everyone and supports all of our wages as well, and puts food on our table. So it's been the right decision in the end for sure. But that's what it was born out of, was foot and mouth. And it does have the same connotations as COVID, where you have to change things up and change the model of your business, as when people got foot and mouth. And I'm sure a lot of people changed the way that we're moving from there. Just although it was a horrendous thing to happen at the time, it does give that opportunity to change things around, because you're I'm saying a fresh start, it's not really, but you're getting that break where you can reassess things and say, do you know what, we're not going in the right direction, we need to change things up.
Where's the other one? Is Jock about somewhere? Eh? Oh, yeah, he's over there somewhere, isn't he? Oh, you got him? No worries, no worries. That's fine, as long as he's about somewhere. That was the foot and mouth story. Any other questions about farming or shearing or?
When you were talking about, you know, like where the moccasins in the field, where the sheep is, stuff like that, does that make shearing quite difficult to teach?
Is that what?
Does that make shearing quite difficult to teach? Because a lot of it.
Oh, that's a great question actually. So the question was with the story about the moccasins and it being about how you feel the sheep, etc., and that adjusts your footwork and whatnot. Asking if that makes it difficult to teach, and the answer is yes. Really difficult, like really, really difficult. I always say to people, like, if you want to learn to shear sheep, you can go on a course and they'll show you the basics. But to learn to shear sheep, you just have to go out and suffer. You just have to go, and the sheep will kick you to bits, and your feet will be in the wrong place, and it will lash out at you, and it will stand up on the board, and you have to put your machine down and tip it over again, and you just have to do that over and over again until all of a sudden you start feeling the sheep, and you start realising how to do it all. There is a lot of suffering. That's why there's so few sheep shearers. Lots of people do the beginner course thinking I want to be a shearer, and then, you know, within a couple of days trying it, they think, actually I'll just go and drive a tractor, it's far easier. And it is far easier, can I just say. I don't blame anyone.
We're giving a wee shout out to Lizzie here, by the way, absolutely knocking her pan in here, doing a great job. Silently working away while me and Cammy gab on and on and on. It's doing great.
She's
absolutely great.
Hardly even breaking a sweat as well. I was soaking all the technical equipment earlier.
You have to take your mic off. I'm going to need to go through therapy after that.
No, Lizzie, absolutely mad for it. She that was the one big sacrifice, I think, with the you know, obviously having kids is difficult, but missing out on the shearing season has been a big thing. But she's going to Yorkshire next week to compete down in Yorkshire. So yeah, she'll have a go down there. But it's difficult. Lizzie is now, so there's 4 grades for competitive shearing. So there's the junior, which is the bottom, intermediate, senior, and then in the open. And Lizzie, 2 years ago, just before she had Bonnie, she won the intermediate circuit for Scotland, so she was the intermediate champion. So now she's up into the seniors. It's quite a big jump again now, because so when Lizzie goes to competition now, she's shearing against guys that are shearing 400 sheep a day, every day. So they're like rapid. So although Lizzie's almost always the cleanest, that speed is such a big factor in the shearing now, and that's just why, you know, the more Lizzie gets out and the more shearing she does, the fitter and faster she'll be, and she'll be able to get back on the podium with these guys again. And then it goes up into the open, which is where I am now, and I just get slapped about, and I'm no matter how fit I get, I still won't be able to compete with them. That's just a different gravy altogether. It's really interesting, the structure, because you go from through the juniors, intermediate, seniors, you're all sort of losers together, because obviously if you win, you move up. So you're competing against a bunch of other people that have never really won. But then once you go to the Open, all of a sudden I'm shearing next to like Gavin Much, who's a world champion. So you go for competing against people that have never won to being like world champions, and it's just like you've no chance. So that takes the fun out of it a bit.
So is the competition about speed then?
A big factor of it is speed, but another big factor is the tidiness, how tidy the sheep is out the back, so how make sure you get all the wool off. Obviously, if you nick a sheep or get any wee cuts, you get massive points deductions. So it doesn't matter how fast you are, if you cut a sheep or that, you lose so many points, it doesn't really matter. And also you get deducted, because traditionally obviously wool was very valuable, any second cuts, so that's where the wool is cut twice. So that's like you'll see sometimes like a wee fluffy bit left on the sheep. If Lizzie or I go back and clean that off, that's called a second cut, and the judge will give you a point for that on the board, because it should all come off in a winner, because that devalues the fleece. Like that bit of wool is worth nothing because it's been cut both sides. What's wrong? Yeah, okay, yeah. We'll get some spray, that's fine. So this one's in a weeded bag, this one's in a bad bag. It's been weeded, what do you call it? Mastitis on her bag, so she's a sore bag. That's Lizzie getting in early to say that wasn't her.
Callie, there's a lot of people concerned about the sheep at the front.
Yes.
Probably didn't hear what you were saying earlier on about her being the head yoke. Just explain what that is. Why the sheep's at the front of the shearing trailer?
So she's standing at the front of the shearing trailer there. She's in a little gap. It's not squeezing on her neck. It's just the right width for her head. And most of the time she'll stand there quite calm. Occasionally she'll get a wee bit spooked. But the idea is this sheep just stands here perfect. If you take that sheep out the front there, what you find is this sheep will panic at the front with nobody to follow, and it will try and jump out, or it will go back and forward and end up hurting itself or the shearer. So that's what we call a decoy, that stays at the front there. Usually not for too long, we're going to be an hour shearing here, then we're going to pop her out and shear her, and she'll be absolutely fine. I get it doesn't look ideal, and she's maybe getting a wee bit wound up there, so we can easily, sometimes when we get that, we can easily swap them out for another one that'll be a bit calmer. But that is why we do it, to save these sheep. You see how calm this sheep just stands there, and then it's ready for the shearer.
And generally it's stand there okay.
Yeah, she's getting a wee bit, maybe been a few too many people walking around the front of her, maybe part of the thing.
She's just getting a little bit wound up now, so we can swap her out.
We'll pop her out.
We're actually not too many to go now. No, not too many at all. But yeah, we can swap her out and then get a fresh one in there and get her shorn. She can head off and get a wee bit of a break. But yeah, it's just get them that queuing system, isn't it, Cammy?
Yeah, it's amazing how the decoy works. Like the next sheep just stands there. It's that old thing, sheep follow sheep. Everybody knows that sheep just follow. So a sheep is quite relaxed if she knows she's another one in front of her.
Well, when we're herding sheep, and a lot of you who watch the live stream know how that normally goes, but if we're trying to get them in through a gap, even when we're running these sheared or shorn sheep already into the pen behind Kyle there, we're trying to get them in through a small gap, which is the gate. But as soon as one goes, say, oh, we've got them, that's it, they'll all run in. Because as soon as one goes, the rest want to follow. It's just in their nature, they'll follow on, and you just need to get the one to show them where to go, and off they pop. So that decoy just does exactly that job.
Yeah, and there's only 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left to go here. A wee handful there, including Fiona. Is Fiona to get weighed first?
Yeah, we'll weigh her, run her up, shear her, then weigh her again, see how she's looking.
And we'll see what we'll see what
alternatively, a lot of intelligent people would say we could just weigh the fleece.
I didn't want, it flashed in my head, and I thought, just don't question them. But then you wouldn't know what weight she is. We need to know her weight. You could weigh her and then weigh the fleece.
Aye. And then weigh her again.
But your scales might not pick up the fleece, it might be too light.
Cammy, there's so many variables, I think we'll just weigh everything.
Not me though. Actually, I've lost about 7 kilos.
You're looking thin.
Mate.
Don't know what you were going to do there.
No.
For a minute. I nearly cancelled the stream. I see your zipper's open. I don't know where this is.
Well, that's for
Lizzie?
That's for airflow, but that's lost a lot of weight. These jeans hardly fitted me last year. Lost 7 kilos.
Is that right?
There
7 kilos?
Yeah.
You don't fancy running 2 kilometres against Emmerdale, do you?
Mate, I can't wait. See when you said, I assumed it'd be like a 50 metres for a laugh. Ben's talking about a charity race he's doing at Perth Racecourse. I thought it'd be like 50 metres for a laugh. And when you said 2k, it's like, we might never see Ben again.
Yeah, he genuinely said this morning, he went, how many metres is it? Like 50, 100 metres or something? Like, no, 2 kilometres.
I'm still
Ben,
not
you
sure.
can't run 2 kilometres. You're telling me.
I'm still not sure it is 2 kilometres. It's definitely 2 kilometres.
It's 10 furlongs. 2 kilometres apparently.
I find that hard to believe. Just because, imagine just saying to somebody wanting to Perth Racecourse, I want you to run 2k. That's like, you need a training plan for that.
Yeah.
Like, that's quite a distance.
It is in my shape.
Well, that's what I'm referring to. For the normal person, it's alright. No. But and do you know, it's not like Kelvin Fletcher, is it? Because you're screwed if it is.
You're going to have to try and hang in his coattails.
He'll probably do it with the abs out, just to make you feel even worse.
Yeah.
Big Kelvin, he's a boy.
Yes.
You're needing Butch or who else is in Emmerdale?
I'm saying it.
Mandy.
I'm praying it's Zach Dingle.
Zach, or who was Paddy, the vet? Paddy.
I actually think he's going to be there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think Paddy and Nicola are there. I think.
Nicola, his on-screen wife?
No idea.
We used to watch it a lot when I was younger, back when there was like one TV in the house and everybody watched. It was that. It used to be on a Sunday. It used to have Heartbeat. Then remember Heartbeat. It used to be Heartbeat then Bed. I always remember that. It was good. Emmerdale, Coronation Street. All the classics. But who else is a big Emmerdale star?
I was feeling a wee bit more relaxed about it after speaking to you today. It's just I'm setting myself up for
Anxiety.
yeah, massive anxiety.
There we go. That's what happens when you don't have a decoy. That's a prime example of what happens. They just jump out because they look. Who asked about the decoys?
You know what?
Name them.
I actually primed them to do that while we were talking about Emmerdale earlier. Like, jump out, hurry. Get me out of here.
Deflect. So there we go. That is a prime example of why you have the decoy, because they'll just sit there nice, waiting for the next one.
Yeah.
And I'll just make sure nobody else comes up till I get in. I'll pop this wee Herdwick in the decoy just till we get finished. I thought I could be clever and for all that was left, but it just shows you.
A lot of people saying I should run it in one of your shorts.
Sounds good. Why not?
There must be a sponsorship deal to have there.
I don't know if I'll throw some money into the charity fund.
Oh no.
Short
Sprung
shorts.
in the charity game.
What?
You can't say no.
I don't want you to say that. I'll get a pair of extra smalls.
Is that not the only size you have?
You come back with your voice all like this.
See, this is the type of conversation that we normally have, and then when we've filmed or we're doing a wee bit of a chat and we're filming away, and then Christoph after we filmed like at the Highland show is like, I can't use this. Can't use anything of what you're saying.
Did you ever use any of those outtakes? No?
Absolutely not.
No, that's fine. It was very lowbrow. So there we go. We've got 2, 4, 6. We're getting there, Lizzie. We're getting there. You're doing great. We're getting there. Yeah. What a shift that has been. I tell you, I'm exhausted. Are you even sweating yet? Wee bit perspiration. Yeah, that's alright. You're doing fine.
Lizzie's just pure cruise control here, isn't she?
Just walking away nice and steady.
No hassle.
You'll need to nick on. I think there's a nappy to change once you're... She's loving it!
That is lowbrow,
That was the reaction I was looking for, don't worry. She's doing good. This one's she's a wee bit woolier, this sheep here. A wee Texel Cross. Absolute belter waiting for you. This is like a grey-faced Dartmoor, is it, next?
Yes, aye.
And which is in, Dartmoor is in Devon, isn't it, Lizzie? Yeah, so this is from Devon. Lizzie's from Devon, should have said that. So this next sheep is actually from Devon.
So have you not got the white-faced Dartmoor?
We have. We've got white-faced Dartmoors, although because of this blue tongue thing, we're probably just going to cross them. It's too hard to. We've been sharing a tuck with Lizzie's mum down in Devon, but now you can't bring the sheep back and forth, and there's no white-faced Dartmoors in Scotland really.
I think you can take them down, but you can't bring them back.
Can't bring them back.
Yeah.
So our mum did take a few recently. Actually, Lizzie took a wee run down south and took some down before the deadline and dropped some sheep off down south. Lift this one up. Yeah, lift. One, two. I'll get this bit. 1, 2, 3. I'm just making noises. I'm not actually lifting. Oh, steady, lass. That old one you just go. Oh, it's heavy. Hope the other person does the lifting. In fact, we just did that recently. Lizzie and I just did the wee pedal casting room.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's hard.
Not doing it.
Lizzie was doing all the pedaling. It's quite a heavy sheet, this one actually.
So, big story, Cammy, is obviously Fiona's weight loss regime.
Yes.
So,
How's it going?
it's going well. We're going to find out soon. But in your opinion, with Fiona's breed and her build, her age, etc., where would you want Fiona and weight-wise? Where would you want her ideally? Healthy weight.
Knowing what weight she's been in the past, I mean, if you get her anywhere from 85 to 90 is fine. Even a wee bit over 90, because she's not really. When they don't have lambs, they're not working hard, so it's hard to keep the weight off them. Because the sheep are, their whole biology is to put a bit of cover on to get them through the winter to then carry on and produce their lambs. And when Fiona doesn't even have a hard winter to worry about.
No.
She just swans about the shed to sit herself. So what a life she's got. So yeah,
I think that is the issue though, although it sounds ridiculous, but from what she's been through, even down at the bottom of that cliff, she didn't really face much hardship. She had a wee cave there that she could shelter in. She had all the food she wanted. She had no competition. There was no worms. There was no liver fluke. Nothing down there.
No.
It was a totally sanitary area. So
honestly, you'd think the whole thing was made up, like just how the whole story of it. As I say, she had her literally was a great wee cave in there. So she had shelter. She had pools, loads of pools of fresh water. She had all this good grass she's no competition. The biggest enemy of a sheep is always another sheep. And Fiona didn't have that because they're all fighting for that same good bit of grass. But down the bottom of the cliff there, it was just Fiona getting the pick of the stuff, so she had it great. And she was big anyway, like even without the Dulscone diet. And by that I mean the ad-lib feed. She was in big fettle anyway. What was she, 92 kilos when she came up?
93 something, I think she was.
Right, there we go.
93 kilos when she came, so she
Well,
was.
You could argue that's her natural weight, because she never had any concentrate feed or anything down there.
Yeah, so that's maybe her championship weight.
Yeah. That's her fighting weight.
That's where she should be. That's maybe where she just settles naturally. Anything below that's maybe not ideal, not optimal for her. But we'll see how she looks. She's got a huge fleece on her, so we'll see how she looks when that fleece comes off.
Yeah.
And what fettle she's in. I'm sure she'll be in good fettle. But
And what will she be now? She's like 4 or 5? 5?
she was. I reckon she was 2 when we rescued her, so that was. She was 4.
4? Yeah, she was before past in April. Yeah. She'd be an April born lamb, so she'll be just past 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad. How long does the sheep live for? What's the record here at Dulscone? How long does the sheep go on for?
We'll have Jasper, the big one with the horns I was telling you about. He must be 10 or 12.
Yeah, I'm born.
Hard to get a sheep to that stage though. The problem is with sheep, what you end up having is they become broken mouths, so they lose their teeth.
Yeah.
They only have teeth in the bottom. They've got a grinding plate on the top for chewing and ripping the grass. They only have teeth in the bottom, so the likes of Jasper, this will probably be his last shear, and will be forced into that because he has, and Cammy will be able to show you, his condition will be good, but it'll not be amazing because his teeth are going, and there's nothing you can do about that. You can't send him to Turkey to get a transplant, unfortunately, but his teeth will go and his teeth will just disappear, and eventually what ends up happening is they just can't eat, and it's a slow decline which you don't want to put them through. So we'll get Jasper done, see how he's looking, but it'll likely be his last shear, unfortunately. It's just time takes over eventually.
Mate, imagine the crack if you did that, but got a nice set of veneers fitting them. Like, what a story, what a laugh it would be.
Imagine the series taking them over to 2 Turkey.
I'm trying to think, I know, what are you
That'd be
doing? I'm taking my Jacob sheep over. Put this one down.
He looked like method.
Come back for another wee go.
He looked like methadone Mick.
That's it, I was trying to think of somebody with big teeth, methadone Mick. Aye. I was trying to think of somebody with big veneers, I couldn't think of anything. I don't watch enough of these Made in Chelsea shows. Love Island. So we've got 1, 2, 4 of these ones left. That one, 4 of them. These ones here to get a go. Fiona's pals.
Yeah.
And then we've got a couple of rams, 2 rams as well.
3.
3 rams. Always one more than he said. He told me 2.
I told him to. I said, we've only got 2. And then when he actually,
When I agreed
that's
to it,
fine. And then he agrees to it, and we got 3. It's a real character flaw that I do that, but I can't help it.
Mate, it's a farmer thing. It's a farmer thing, don't worry.
It's
It's not just you. Aye, no, it's not. How many is there? 40, 50.
I mean, you're going to be really annoyed when I
200.
run the 4 up.
Lizzie's working away like an absolute machine here. As I said, you know, we would generally work 2-hour runs, so Lizzie would be quite, you know, very used to shearing for 2 hours solid and more, to be fair. Depending on the weather, depending on how many sheep there are, you can quite often shear for 3 hours or more without stopping. This is no bother to Lizzie. Giving a little wiggle in a dance there.
Cammy, is that shearing season starting to come to an end for a lot of farmers now? When are they running till?
Oh no, I mean shearing, you know, the boys will be shearing in August, till August here, so yeah, I suppose we're in July now. A lot of people will have their sheep shorn, especially in by crossbred sheep like these. A lot of your hill type sheep will not get done till later in July, in August, because what a lot of people do is when they gather the sheep off the hill, they'll take the lambs off at the same time, so they want to delay shearing a bit for that reason. 3 more to go. Let me just go and check these weightings. Can you just press that button for a wee second? I'll just check these weightings quickly. Both out cold.
Excellent. No,
Aye, 2 of them. I don't know that.
Christoph's trying to put together the fact that we can maybe get Jasper some dentures.
They're both sound asleep. Good results.
It's been a busy day for them.
I said to Lizzie, I said, I'll share the first bit and then I'll do the weightings the second half and you do a bit of sharing. I knew they'd been knackered by then. That's what she said. The problem is though, they'll be wide awake till they drive home. In fact, Jock will be desperate. He'll end up being desperate. I still haven't seen him, but I think he is about somewhere. Aye.
Angus is a bit of a spent force there, isn't he?
Aye, he was knackered. Jock, to be fair, Jock can go without a nap now. He's at that age now. But it is great. It's great for the park. I'm not blowing smoke. The park is fantastic. Like, there's just so much to do for the kids. Absolutely brilliant.
Changed a lot since you were down last year, isn't it?
Massive. Aye, massive. Some investment. Just so tidy and well laid out. It's good.
You haven't got a mini golf.
I had a go at the mini golf. I like it. I don't really like giving them weapons generally, but they were all right. And of course, typical Wayne's. There's all this stuff to do. You know, that's once you're in, it's free to do. They still want to go in the wee car that goes back and forth. It costs £1 a time. They still want to sit in that thing. One of them's like a poor man's tractor Ted. What is it? Tractor Troy. Half the price of Tractor Ted.
That's it. Aye, but there's only certain people that can get a sponsorship with Tractor Ted. That's equivalent of our social media and yours. You're Tractor Ted, we're Tractor Troy.
You're the Aldi. It's like they call them the caterpillar fight, innit?
You're the Aldi version.
You're the Aldi version.
Not supposed to agree to that, Cammy, to
No.
be honest, but
We did a little filming thing with Tractor Ted recently. Actually down at Adam Henson's farm. It was great. We filmed it on Adam Henson's farm. which is a similar idea to yourselves.
I don't know why they didn't come film here.
Because it's better for me to go to them because they use the same film crew. This is an interesting one for Tractor Ted. The film crew for Tractor Ted is the same film crew that does Parsons Farm.
Oh, really?
Aye,
Really?
and those boys are paid like a retainer to be on call all the time,
Right.
so they can't travel too far away.
So they're in the, so the Cotswolds is obviously where that's where Clarkson Farm is, isn't it?
It's about an hour away.
Right.
So in their setup, that those cameramen are basically on call all the time. So if like Jeremy or somebody phones and says the bull's broke its leg or something big's happened, the pig's having its piglets, then they just drop what they're doing and go and film there, and that's part of the thing.
Some show, I watched the recent series, it's still brilliant.
I Tractor Ted.
No. That does play on repeat in our house.
Oh my god, the amount of times I've watched it. The amount of times I've watched Les run for his lunch.
Yeah.
Or he forgot to shut the gate. Or where's your keys, Les? And they're in his back pocket. And I'm like, oh. But yeah, the Parsons Farm.
I thought the most recent series was really good, I think.
They've just nailed it, like, and they're very good for farmers. Very positive for farmers.
Very good. Right, I see the scales. Florence is currently in the scales at the minute with Archie. I see the scales getting wheeled out, so that means Fiona's. Look at Kyle sitting. Look at him. It's like a coiled spring there, ready to get into the scales.
Pretty good going there. That's just under 30 sheep in an hour. It's not a bad go.
No hassle.
That's not a bad go at all.
Again, I have to highlight, Cammy, the sweat was pouring off you.
Oh no, I'm not as fit as Lizzie. That's no doubt about it.
Lizzie's looking like she's ready for another 30.
Oh, definitely. She's getting fit for it. We've done a couple of days shearing actually. We had a romantic date night the other night, Lizzie. It got to about 5 o'clock at night and the weather changed and it got quite nice and sunny. It'd been wet all day. And Lizzie's just like, well, we're going to shear those 80 sheep down with a wee field not too far away. And I'm just like, great. It's like, tired the wains out, they fell asleep like that. Lizzie and I shearing away together. Absolute romance. Was it not, Lizzie? That's true. It's either that or you stay at home with the kid and try and get them to bed at a normal time and it's just a big fight. At least that way they're just exhausted. Actually won't be a bad thing if they have a nap now and then don't sleep in the car on the way home, because you know what it's like if they have a nap about that 4 or 5 o'clock.
Oh, danger nap we call it. A danger nap.
Yeah,
we're normally up till about 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, we do the same. They're absolutely wild by the time they get home. Here we go. One more for the run.
Right, just a wee decoy, then we're heading on to Fiona.
The
We're
wee
heading on
Herdwicks.
to Fiona's pen. Cammy, you feeling the pressure of Fiona?
Oh, always.
Shearing the world's most famous sheep?
Always. What can go wrong? That'll be fine.
Sure.
We've done it. This is the third time now. This is the third time we've shown it. It'll be fine.
First time was hand sheared, wasn't it, Cammy?
Was it hand sheared?
I think you hand sheared her up at yours.
Yeah, I think we did. That's right. So it was Steve that came up the hand shield, eh?
There you go. Well, you've done it. Steve's look better, but that's fine.
Remember, what was the story again? It was winter time, so we wanted to leave some wool on her.
Yeah, we want to leave a bit of wool on her, and so the story goes about Fiona when she was up at Cammy. So she was supposed to be getting shorn here originally, but because of the protesters and all of the faldera that came with that, we had to keep her in a air quote secret location,
Yeah.
which was where Cammy keeps some of his sheep. So she had to stay there, and ITV were sitting in the Dr. Scott, the guy from ITV, the vet from ITV. I don't know if you've ever seen him, an Australian guy. He was sitting in the
Very handsome.
kitchen table and saying, right, we need to go and see the sheep. I think you should give them to the protesters. Said, absolutely no chance, not happening. If we give them I knew at the time, if we gave Fiona to the protesters, it was setting a precedent for any farmer who's going to have any sort of hassle from any activist group just to bowl over and just give them what we want. I was like, it's not an option. Me and Cammy were on the same page with this one, so it was an easy decision. So she was supposed to get shorn there, and Dr. Scott was desperately trying to find out where she was, but she had to get shorn at a secret location while we got all of everything cleared out here. I think we got her shorn and brought her straight down here that night.
Yeah, that's right.
When it was about 9 o'clock in the dark.
That's
so,
right.
yeah,
That's right. I remember that.
Bizarre time.
Yeah.
Real bizarre time.
Yeah, I remember all the protesters. I've got a really funny picture of them I've never posted. That one Al's did.
Oh yeah.
So Al's cousins that does all the great artwork and stuff called Stone. He's just a genius with the Photoshop. Well, he basically like scrubbed all the so they were all holding signs at the bottom of the road there, and Al's like redid all the signs to say like really funny things. I might post it on the anniversary again. I'll post it. I didn't want to wind them up any more than they already were, but it's so funny.
Cammy had sent me this. I'm going to post it. I was like, do not go anywhere near that. Do not.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That was so good.
That was a good
So well done, Lizzie.
Well done, Lizzie.
Machine. Fantastic. Right.
Okay,
What's
let's
the
move
next
this
plan?
over here.
Aye. What is there a new cutter? I don't know if there's any thick enough. There we go. Some job.
Right.
And Lizzie is definitely much tidier than me as well at shearing. 100%. She's very good.
Both of them. Cammy's just checking out the stream. 3,000 watching at the minute.
Yeah, it's good. Pretty similar across YouTube and Facebook. Pretty similar numbers.
Because we're doing longer streams today, a lot of people watching their TV, so they're watching.
I'm watching YouTube, I suppose. Are you doing these other ones too?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to do Fiona now?
Yeah, let's get Fiona Wade. Hold on, I'll sit this down here. Has that got enough cable to get round there? Probably not.
Oh. Took you.
One job.
How many folk do that? Took you like,
No one.
I know you meant to give it back with the food, didn't you? A wee souvenir. A wee Dove Scone thing. I'll put that back in my pocket and forget again. Here, you stick that in your pocket, or I'll just forget. There we go. I was enjoying the vibration.
That slap in the backside earlier. That
It's just set me off. Right.
See, these are the outtakes that we can't.
I know. I'm censoring myself as best I can. Right.
Right, hold on. Oh, here, we're going straight in for it here. Fiona's straight into the scales. Right. Here we go. Cover it up, Kyle. Make sure it's right, though.
Are you hiding this? The reading?
Make
Right.
sure it's right. Need to get her in, because these kind of go a bit funny sometimes, these scales. Let's have a look. Wait a minute. You need to take this off of here. Christoph's awful tripod that I've got here. Can I get this? Final weights in? Is it locked in? Wait a minute, I can't get this off. Hold on everyone. Hold on YouTube, hold on Facebook. Here we go.
What is this one? Oh, that's his mic. Oh, you want it over there, do you?
Right.
Here it is.
So Fiona's weight before... Where's Connor? Where's C? Fiona's weight before Lambing time actually would it be March, I think, was the last weigh in. It was around 97 kilos. So she has been out in the paddock for the last few weeks on little grazing. Trim her down, and we can exclusively reveal that Fiona is now 96.6. So she's done really well. She's done really, really well. That's with the fleece to come off her as well. So 96.6 kilos. We're not far away. It's the same weight as you?
Not so long ago.
I'm saying this, by the way.
Am I getting confused? Is she just the exact same weight as she was before lambing?
Yes, and that's a good thing.
Oh, that's a good thing?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So I thought we were hoping she lost weight, but I think she's alright at that. Aye. Fine. Isn't it?
Let's see, what do you think after the fleece is off? What do you think?
Oh, what was it?
Any guesses?
3 kilos, 94.5.
94.5, Cammy says.
Which is almost.
Guesses in the comments.
Which is actually only 2 kilos up from where she was down the cliff, which isn't bad.
It's not bad.
That's alright.
And that's for 2 years of good living.
2 years of good living, yeah.
I was having a laugh saying the same weight as you. That is my weight.
Is that your weight? 97?
Yeah, somewhere around about there. Isn't it? I'll need to jump in there, but
Fiona's not the only one having good living, eh? Some boy. I'm 86, I think. 87.
unfortunately, I don't have any wool to take off.
No. 87. I was 95 though. I'm 87. It's alright, huh?
95 will top you out, do you? Not have been 95 very many times, have you? Is that the heaviest you've got?
That's the heaviest, yeah. 95 last winter or whatever it was. Scanning into it, you're just sitting down all day. Are we doing a decoy? What are we doing? Are we doing Fiona now? I'll just do this one. I'll just do this one. I'll just do this one and then I'll do Fiona. Let's me warm up again before we get into it. Here we go.
I think that's Mia, is it? Is that Mia? Is that Mia? I think it is. Yes, it's Mia. So, if you're watching our social media channels on Dalston Daily, the next sheet to come up is... Okay, scrap that. Wrong sheet. We'll be back with factual information soon. So this girl here is actually the mum to two of the lambs. Again, you'll have maybe seen it on our social media channels. Dalston Daily, page is going great. But she had two lambs that she went out into the field. Cammy will get this as well, and just was like, don't fancy this, quite hard work, and just took off and left them. So we had to go back down into the field, find her, get the lambs, and put them into a smaller pen so that she could look after them, keep a close eye on them. So that's what we've done, and she's still looking after them. She's doing fine, but she's a terrible mother. If she got the chance, she would run off. I mean, we all feel like that sometimes, but she actually does do it. So this is her getting shorn now, and hopefully she's not going to take off again. So what we've tried to do is, she was in a smaller pen, just a 6-foot pen, and she stayed in there for a few weeks to get accustomed with her lambs. And then we've moved her out into a smaller paddock now, so she's back out onto the grass. And still looking after our lambs, thankfully. So we're kind of almost getting her to the point where we're kind of phasing her into bigger and bigger paddocks in the hope that she isn't going to head off and desert them again. So this is who this girl is, if you remember seeing that video. And of course it was a Saturday night, we had to go and catch her, wasn't it? The two lambs were looking starving, wouldn't go in the milk machine, so back on to mum we went. And if you're wondering on social media as well, yes, that is Florence in the scales.
Having the best time back there.
I think her and Archie are in there. Claire says between her and Archie they're 30 kilos for the both of them. Archie probably 25 of those kilos, I would say.
Okay, lass. I'm nearly there.
Emma getting in there and getting the wool rolled. Right. So you'll maybe have seen Emma is rolling up the wool here, and she's separating the wool into different bags. So the bag that is closer to Christoph, or closer to Cammy, is the bag that's going away to the wool board and is getting sorted out for our products. That's what's going to be made into our products. The other wool is coloured wool that we're not going to be using for that. So we need to separate them all out. The wool that is going down to the wool board to be used for us, or the mill, sorry, to be used for us, is getting collected on Wednesday. So we've got another 2 bags of wool plus this one to go. All in all, hopefully around 210 kilos of wool will be going to the wheel board to get used for our product. So very excited to get that done.
Some buzz.
Okay. Right, is this the big one then?
Let's go for it. Here we go. Right,
is this the big one? Here she comes. The world's most famous sheep. There we go. Round of applause for Fiona.
There we go. Good to see you again.
The legend herself.
Good to feel you again. There you go. Right. So obviously she's not got a bag because she's not got any lambs at the moment.
Have a wee check of her teeth as well.
I can feel.
Just see if
yeah, she's got a full mouth. You would describe it as. I've just coming into a full mouth. So, yep, your she'll be at that age. Your 4-year-old, as we discussed. Great condition again. We spoke earlier about that rise. It's like the wool's just coming off beautiful here. Come around the tail. Great backside on her. Fantastic. I mean, just the type of breed that Fiona is, she literally has like a bum cheek, like a nice big naked cheek there. Beautiful. Up we go, lass. Step up the neck. We've done this dance before. Stepping round. Setting her down. As I said at the time when we brought Fiona up, it was unbelievable how relaxed she was and how calm for a sheep that had virtually never seen anyone. She's just obviously got a great nature. And it's just made the whole thing so easy. Even when we went down to get her, it was just so easy to get a hold of her. And as many of you will have seen the video on the way back up, we've got her in a tote bag and we've poked a wee hole in it so she can breathe, and she's putting her nose through the tote bag and she's nibbling grass on the way back up. I've never seen a sheep so relaxed in my life. Coming over the back here. You need to take lots of long blows because she's got a big broad back on it. Coming round the neck, let's pop you up, lass. Clean that off. Up you go there. Couple of blows. We'll come down this last side. She's sitting nice and relaxed. That's my heavy breathing. And I'm going to pop her head through again. She's such a big sheep, it's easier if I just pop her head through it.
So Fiona's actually going to be, they're wanting to feature Fiona on a BBC documentary, 999 Farm Emergencies. So,
right.
Yeah, so they're wanting it. The story of Fiona still goes on, and she's still as popular as ever. She's still as famous as ever. Media inquiries are literally coming out all the time.
Is that one you sit in like a darkened room and speak all dramatic about how it's life or death and all that?
It's just going to be one light shining on your face.
Yeah. And there we go, Fiona's done again.
Beautiful. Look at her.
Right, you're going to stand up, Fiona.
Let's have a wee look and see.
Right, we'll just turn and face it. Look at that.
Should we get a picture? We got a picture last time. I'll sit in front of her there.
There she is. Some back on her, I tell you. There we go.
Hold on.
You coming for a photo there?
Aye.
Here we go. Let's see if I can come down and hold her still. There we go. She's so well media trained now, isn't it? It's just poses. Right, lass, are we weighing her again, or we just put her down the back, or I'll just put her down the chute?
We'll put her down the chute and then we'll just run her in.
Right. Oh, she's too tall to get through my legs. Hey, look at that. Tremendous, eh? You calm down.
And that fleece is going in there. Yeah.
Right, I'm not finished yet. That's right, a couple more today while we're getting a hold of her and taking her in for getting
By the way,
weighed.
that was Cammy saying, I'm no finished yet. No finished yet. Not finished yet, for those of you.
Yes.
No swear words.
I've fell back into my Ayrshire accent here just when I'm not. It's funny when
to be honest, I thought you'd said, I'm feeling...
Oh, yeah. So, I know. When I'm not holding the camera, I fall back into my normal accent, but usually when I'm holding the camera, I'm good at speaking a bit better English.
So so this is Mia. This is the sheep that I was going to talk about earlier on, and this is about 1 million views on her videos last week.
Right.
She'd got swept away in the river from the field, swept about a mile away, about half a mile away. Not to exaggerate, it was half a mile away down the river. Ended up at the side of the golf course. We thought she'd drowned. There was no sign of her. We walked for about 15 minutes along the track next to the river. And no sign of her whatsoever, and we just said...
Does it not worry you if it takes them 15 minutes to walk half a mile? How long does it take them to do 2k? God, I'll need to go back. I can't, it's just back at home. There's scones away over there.
So she got swept 4 miles down the river, and no, we walked for about 15 minutes to see if we could find her, and it was right along the golf course. So you walk along, it's along the 5th hole, and then you change round. It's my golf course across the road. It's actually right across there, the other side of the trees. and we couldn't see her at all. And even where she was, we wouldn't have seen her anyway because she was down an embankment about 30 feet down, and you wouldn't have been able to see her. It was a dog walker and spotted her eventually, but by some miracle she survived, and she just found a shallow bit. And I think the only reason that she didn't drown is because she must have been able to get her back feet and keep kicking them off the ground so she didn't go under. Our fleece would have been saturated, obviously been swept away, and it was heavy rain, so the river was flowing really fast. And it was about 5 days later someone came and said to us, "Do you know there's a sheep stuck down at the bottom of the golf course?" It's like, "It's too far away to be yours, but just in case you know the farmer." And I immediately knew who it was. I knew it was going to be her. And for nights before, because where I was, I could see her. Connor was trying to get a hold of her in the ditch before she got into the river, and I could see her struggling and Connor struggling to try and get a hold of her. And then she took a big leap over a branch and into the mouth of the river, and I could watch her all the way from the mouth of the river into the middle of the river, and just desperately trying to keep her head above water and getting swept away. And it was one of those horrible, helpless moments where you can't do anything at all for her, and you know that's probably her. You know you can't jump into a fast-flowing river. Not that you would catch her anyway, but it was just a horrible situation for nights and nights. I kept saying to Claire, "It's a horrible feeling about that. It's a horrible thing to see." Lo and behold, not knowing, she was actually sitting waiting to be rescued at the bottom of the banking. So she's absolutely fine, no issues whatsoever, and she had a lucky escape. You thought she was going as well, didn't you?
Hey, just in a random tangent, did you see that guy that jumped out off the Disney cruise after he's win?
14 stories.
That's the fact that both of them survived is just incredible.
Although, apparently he sat the wee girl on the
apparently
roof.
that was no true.
How did she fall in then?
Apparently she climbed over it, which to me on a Disney cruise seems insane.
Wow.
I don't know how that's possible, but
What a hero though, what a dad.
Oh, mental.
14 stories, he jumped into the ocean.
Well, I thought when I heard that he'd sat on the railing, it made sense because it's like either jump in or face the raft of the mum. So it's like, so I would have jumped in.
Jump.
But oh, what a good story! Like, no day great for Disney cruises, I wouldn't think. But
no such thing as bad publicity.
Well, that's it.
Who's this we're doing now? Lewis Harris. Is that Lewis Harris?
So this is a classic Bill Stone story for you here, Cammy. This one that you're shearing just now is a Valley Black-nosed cross.
Yeah.
And he came out of our purebred Valley Black-nosed ewe, the only one that we have on the farm. And she got caught by a Dutch spotted when she wasn't supposed to. So what should have been a pedigree Valley Black-nosed worth quite a lot of money, it turned out into being a crossbred Dutch spotted Valley Black-nosed. So that's why it has such a huge fleece. So it wasn't too enamoured when that happened, didn't he?
And you know it's a boy as well, yeah.
Yes, aye.
Yeah, that's fine. Just a wee pet.
Just to add insult to injury.
Just a wee pet.
Yeah, just a pet.
Ah, hey, different, innit? Nice to have a wee bit of variety.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's actually shearing lovely, beautiful skin on it. Coming round here. Just takes a wee bit of time to work round the face and get all this stuff here. Beautiful colours. It's the wool on the legs that's always hard work. Try to get all this wool off the legs.
What's your least favourite sheep to shear, Callie?
Oh, I think it's fair to say it would be the Valley Black-nosed. Definitely, and then probably a Dorset after that.
Is the grey-faced Dartmoor not up there? You're not
Oh,
a big fan
it
of
definitely is, but I tell you that the one good thing about the grey-faced Dartmoor, they're quite, they're smaller than the Valley, and they sit not too bad. But like a Dorset, for example, can be quite fiery. They'll kick the whole way around. It can be quite heartbreaking. You get a lot. Lizzie shore a lot of them. You get a lot of them down south. Places that like to lamb in December, like a Dorset.
So a Dorset sheep that Cammie's talking about is one of the rare sheep where you can lamb it at any time of the year. It will come into the season at any time of the year.
That's right, yeah.
It doesn't matter when you put the tup to it, they will get in lamb. So a lot of people, you can lamb now, you can lamb December, you can lamb September, you can lamb in January, it doesn't matter.
Is that what any time of the year means?
What's that?
Is that what any time of the year means?
That's any time of the year.
Another wee weather here. Just the wee pets. Is this just Fiona's pals?
This is Pete's pet, Blackjack.
Blackjack, there we go. Did Blackjack have a good story as a lamb?
He did have a great story as a lamb. For the life of me, I can't remember what it is now, but it was really good at the time. What was it?
Hard keeping up all the plot twists and stuff.
Yeah, just a wee bottle-fed lamb that Pete had. That used to follow Pete about like a dog. He's got another wee warble like that at the minute. Follows him about like a dog.
Coming round the last side, black sheep's always a wee bit harder to see what you're doing.
So what is this? This is one of the last. We've got the tups in. Okay, we're going to do the tups. Can't
Yep.
easy will do them.
May as well, with here.
We'll go and run these tups in. So there's only 3. Oh, aye, we'll get Fiona in the scales, of course. Aye, hold on.
Yeah, while the boys are getting the tucks in, we'll do that.
Where is she? All right. Yeah, we'll get Blackjack finished off, and then we'll get Fiona into the scales and get her weight again. What was the weight I told you of?
90.
96.6. Definitely. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right, actually.
96.6 Fiona was before, so let's see what she is after the fleece is off her. Look at the difference in her. Doesn't she look fantastic? Well done, Cammy.
If only we didn't have the tucks today.
It was so good, such a good advert for these scales when she's like 97 kilos now with a roll off her.
That's how I justify trying to get her own safari.
Just make it up. If it's heavier, just make it up.
Right, good to go. We're good to go, yeah.
There we go.
I'm going to say 94. 94 is my guess. Get your guesses in online. 0.3.
90. Yeah, 94. That's a good guess.
Yeah. Solid, I think. Solid guess.
94.
Go on, darling. It's weird seeing her with this.
So I've more space now than they will. She's almost too big for these scales. Pure awkward, that is heavier.
94.8.
Okay, there we go.
94.8. That's the least she's weighed so far.
Does that work out? 1.8 kilos for the fleece?
So she didn't have anything on her belly, really, did she?
No, she's bare bellied. So 1.8 kilos
Not a
for the
lot.
fleece.
I would have thought there'd be more on her, but still, 94.8. Sorry,
you think?
brain like a sieve, sorry. 94.8. So that's the least I think we've ever weighed her in. So that's a
Is
good
that-
result for her, and she's looking great.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally just 2 kilos heavier than she was coming up the cliff, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think she was 93 point something, so not even 2 kilos. So,
And she'd have been totally empty then, because like, we brought it back up and like, she wasn't really eating anything then, so...
and therein lies the problem. She likes her food.
Yeah.
Right, so great result for Fiona. Happy with that. We can resume our diet now.
Straight in for the grub.
She can resume her diet now. Probably, I think if we get her down to 93, Cammy, to where she was before.
See, looking at her, she's probably at a natural... She's not far away, like, she's probably quite a natural weight. She's just a big, meaty sheep, like...
It's as simple as that, isn't it? She's going to
Aye,
be something, so...
I mean, aye.
She's not far away, so we're pretty happy with that. She's happy, we're happy. That leg still bothers her a little bit, but there's nothing anyone can do about that. Wee bit arthritis in her front left leg, but that's just something she's going to have to deal with, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And she manages it fine. Some days are better than others, so she gets on grand. Right, let's see where they are with these tups.
They don't give any of that stuff they give for like dogs when they get arthritis, and it's like a... putting their food, no, never anything like that.
Well, like the cod liver oil thing, no?
Aye, there's something that we've got for Meg, and you just get... Well, you can either give them a monthly injection, or they get it in their food.
Right? I don't know.
Must do something for arthritis. Maybe it's just for dogs, I don't know.
I don't think there is some stuff for dogs. Well, Emma would know.
There's some stuff for dogs that you can't give to sheep.
Aye, mate, aye, we don't want to give her too much Metacam all the time. It's
Damages her, not
Sewing
damages
her
her
liver.
liver.
Aye.
Damages her liver. They can't.
For an ongoing thing, you wouldn't want to give them that, I don't think.
Right, let's see where these tups.
There's some
Hello,
taps now, the
gorgeous.
big 4-horn Jacob to come, is that the exciting thing?
Edith, I don't know where she is.
That's the exciting
See the
thing.
camera? You can see the sheep. Yeah.
Get that done. Any other questions about shearing and anything like that? No, everybody quite happy? Enjoying your day? Good, good.
Right, here come the tups. Just gonna
You alright?
Uh-huh.
Some man. Look the part.
Oh, the boys are trying to get the tups in there. Do you want to go and draw that cup with Cammy? Or do you want to take that and I'll go and get the tups run?
Alright, Christoph asked about the plans for the cattle, but yeah. Oh, see, if I could, I would just buy 100 cattle.
The boys are trying to struggle there, trying to...
You know,
So
a
we
breeding
do
cow,
this?
let's say, is £3,000 a head. So, like, 100 cattle is £300,000. It's insanity. Like, it's mad. And 100 cows isn't even a big herd. Like, it's just so much money now. Don't get me wrong, if you had 100 cattle when the price went shot up, you're laughing, but I'm just 6 months too late. Here's the superstar.
Here's the boss.
Right, got what's in the bucket?
Pete's doing a... Pete'll explain, I think.
A Pete thing.
You have to sign a mug in there.
Tractor Ted Wellies, love to see it.
There you go. Hey,
Good
mate,
thing.
I sign the wellies.
What's that?
Sign the wellies.
Alright. Oh, here we go. Right, what's that? Mind that pickup's not mine. What are the horns in that, man? So wait till you see the horns in this.
Wait till you see Jasper here. This is why I want
I'm
Cammy to
just
do
asking to scratch the pickup.
There's the Valley Black Nose went by Kyle's pickup and put a big scratch in it the other day.
What are you thinking?
Will he even get up the race, Cammy? He'll not get up the race, will he?
I probably will go up the race, I think. I think we'll go up the race alright. Some horns on him.
Right.
What's this thing with the horns out here? Is that a goat? Is that a thing with big twisty horns over here?
Angora goat.
Angora goat, is
Yeah,
it?
Angora.
Yeah, I suppose we could have put them.
Mohair. Mohair is what Angora goats produce.
Mohair.
Mohair.
More,
Right.
More hair than what?
You.
Is it valuable?
So, well, apparently, yeah.
Here it is.
So this boy takes a wee bit of extra, footwork and stuff, doesn't he, to get around those horns?
Oh, definitely. You know, as I think I said the same thing last time, thankfully, we're 3 kids, we're done.
Yeah.
So, any accidents, not such a big deal now.
No want anything to get hanged on the end of the horn. Here he
Sort of
comes.
plan for this one.
You want to say hello? You say hello.
Oh, that speaker is going to get it. Oh,
Whoa!
he ducked at the right time there.
There we go.
Right, on you go.
That speaker was taking a tumble there.
I think I'll take him out here just to try and make life easier, I think. I don't know whose life it makes easier, but...
So Jasper is a Jacob tup. He is a Jacob tup.
Right, Jasper.
And you'll notice he has 4 horns rather than 2, and there's 2 different types of Jacobs. You can get 4-horn or 2-horn.
Right, big lad.
Ideally, you want the 2-horn. We prefer the 2-horn Jacobs because the 4 horns we tend to find that grow out the side of their head.
Yeah, we close up his teeth
Yeah,
there
yeah.
so you can see.
The-
So his teeth are getting well worn down to next to nothing now.
Tiny teeth, yeah.
You see them all, they're getting right worn down there.
That looks like before you get your veneers.
That's, how they thin them down.
Yeah.
Well mate, he's set up for it then, isn't he?
Let's have a look.
Come on, what's 10 grand between pals? Imagine the headlines for that.
Yeah.
Imagine that, with the big cheesers.
Do you know what the
I keep
headlines?
trying to think, do you remember is it only an excuse was the Frank McAvenny?
Yeah.
The Jonathan Watts thing, it was used to play Frank McAvenny, always the big veneers on it, was great.
The headlines will be Al's cousins funds.
The richest man in Edinburgh.
Yeah, that's it. Richest man in Edinburgh.
Right, let's see how we go here. Right, of course, we've got to watch the tickly bit here.
work round this.
Sit down there with this stuff, guys.
Is he bred? Is he still breeding this stuff? Oh,
On his arms, guys.
think about it. Is Jasper still breeding?
No.
No.
Just a pet.
He's not. He never produced any lambs this year, no.
Not this year.
Sure, then.
I'm sure. We did have a breakage in one of our gates, and he did get out, but we had to put him. He's that old. He'd got out with a full pen of yows, breeding yows, and he's that old and ran that hard after them that we had to actually put him in our ATV and drive him back up to the farm because he physically couldn't walk. He was so exhausted.
He was so knackered. Aye. I get the feeling. Right, coming round. Obviously, slightly different head position this time with these horns. Excuse my shouting into the mic. He is going to come out. Good catch.
Hold on, see. Hold on.
Again, this is what happens when you don't put a decoy in. No doubt his mate will follow him in a second, but that's okay. Right, it's just quite a reach for me to get right over here by these horns, but I will get there. Taking my time. Right, big lad, up you come. Here we go. Look at that. Serious. Will you, if the day comes that you no longer need these horns, are you going to keep them and make a crook? I've got a guy who would take them to make a crook out of for you. A shepherd's crook, make a nice stick.
My father-in-law makes crooks, so...
Oh well, there we go.
Would,
I'm not
would
stepping in
definitely
these
do that.
tays. Could be a nice... do you ever buy Pete a Christmas present?
I'm really multitasking here. I'm trying my best, but I've got one mic. My other mics fell off, and I'm trying to keep my.
He's diverting. He doesn't want to answer the question.
Ask a question again, sorry.
Do you ever buy Pete a Christmas present?
Oh, of course. He never uses them, but I always buy him one.
He's like, oh, thanks, Ben. Another Doscone jumper. Just what I was needing. Right, here we go. That's the hard bit done. Although I say that, I've still got to pop his head up. I don't think I'm going to put his head back up between my legs somehow. I think this might be a wee bit something in my teeth. A wee bit something in my teeth there, just that's handy. Right. That's it.
I am
Let's
desperate.
cancel that appointment. There we go. Round the cheeks. Down the side. What we like? How much will we get? Let's get a wee bit more. Try not to catch the ear. It's really tricky. Right, lad. I don't know what to do here. Although I've shore a lot of sheep, I'll be honest, I've not shore many with 4 horns. Probably just a handful like this. You don't see many of them. Especially horns as big as this. Let's just go.
If you put that on my chest.
Hello. Buy me a drink first. Here we go. Oh. Down the last side now. It's all easy. All the hard work's done.
How's his condition, Cammy? He's looking alright.
Oh, he's fine for an old boy. That's the thing. Aye, keep family feeding into him. We'll see him next year. They're fine. Is he okay to run out the back once I'm done? Aye.
Yeah.
Just let him go. Right. Nearly there, big man. I think I've got it all. Oh, big horns. Down you go. Oh.
Well done, Cammy. Well done.
There we go. Close one. Now it's all easy. Just big heavy guys. Oh, there we go. What do you think of this one?
Say hi, Cammy.
So the Dutch spotted tuck, a fantastic tuck for producing meaty lambs and very pretty lambs as well. Usually quite easy to shear these ones because they're nice and round.
Yeah.
Like Fiona, plenty of flesh on them.
Lots of holes in them, yeah.
Stepping up.
say hello?
Drop him down.
Okay.
These big boys don't like being upside down, that's the only thing. Might get a little wriggle or two from him. Hi Bonnie.
He's been away for a wee nap.
Steady now. Oh, steady big man. Over we go.
Bonnie's been away there for a belter of a nap.
She has had a good nap there.
That's a real good one. Look at the beautiful colours that comes out of them as well.
Yeah, lovely skin.
Once you get that fleece off, the colours underneath are stunning.
Lovely skins on them. It's crazy, it's very different sheep to the Jacob, but it's amazing how similar their wool and their skin is to the Jacob, it really is. There must be some sort of crossover there somewhere down the line.
There has to be. Well, apparently, Cammy, so I don't know if you know if this is true or not, but if you cross any other sheep with a Jacob, you will get a brown lamb.
Yeah, that is true.
But if you cross a Dutch spotted, you get a spotted lamb.
Is that right?
Well, that's definitely true.
Right. I didn't know that part of it, but I know
So
the Jacob always shows a
that's-
black lamb.
That's why we cross the Dutch spotted with the Jacob, because you get such beautiful little lambs and they're a better sheep is what a Jacob is.
Right, okay. Yeah, good better ends on it.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's the same again, a wee Dutch spotted. Wee bit shorter this guy, is he? Oh, is this a wee bottle fed tup lamb, is it?
Yeah, it's a bottle fed tuck.
There we go.
That's gimbal, we call them.
Right.
And yeah, came out absolutely tiny and.
I take it his mother, was he a triplet, or his mum didn't like him, or?
I actually think his mum died.
Oh, his mum died, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so, yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry to bring that back up. Right. Ah, he's in good shape though, for a wee bottle lamb. I take it he's a working tup, is he?
Gimbal.
Does he do a job?
Yeah, he's working yet. Had lambs with us this year, yeah.
Yeah, good man, good man.
Done well for a bottle fed as well, I think.
Oh, absolutely. He's in great shape.
Bonnie.
Did you have many bottle fed this year? I see a few out in the back paddock. I take it they're your bottle fed lambs.
We had a few, but we're very, very successful at winning them on this year.
Yeah.
So we had quite a few triplets.
That's always the best way.
Yeah, we got them all pinned on, so we're pretty successful at that. So we only had the milk machine on for a short period of time. Or you just know did you have many bottle feds, Cammy?
I think we've got about 60 of them there.
60, have you really?
Lizzie's in charge of them, but yeah, I think we've got about 60.
Have you got a milk machine?
Aye, got a milk machine.
It's a great thing, isn't it?
Oh, unreal.
Is it Tom Blackwood's?
No, it's not this year. No, we've got our own. But it's a great machine, a great thing until the lambs pull the tube off.
Yes, that's exactly the issue with them. There's a design flaw there.
Yeah, and then the whole bag of milk is on the floor.
We done that last week, so we put a brand new bag of milk in. 50 quid for a bag of milk, a big one. Lambs pulled one of the teats off, and the whole load of the bag washed down the hill.
Yeah, of course the problem is it's the sheer smell. Oh, was that outside?
No.
Inside?
Yeah, it poured outside.
Aye, not so bad. I was going to say, but the worst of it is that milk just stinks.
So we put the milk machine at the end of the shed on purpose,
Clever.
just in case that happened. But
Clever. Right, last sheep, 2025.
there we go.
Job done.
Job done. Excellent.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Well done, guys. Great effort.
It's done.
Right, I think I said this last year, but delete my number. Great fun. Good to see you, though. Good.
No, it is always a great laugh as well. We love doing sheep shearing day.
Is Pete want to do something with this
Yes,
before
Pete's-
it disappears?
Pete's want to do something on this, so don't.
Do you want
don't
this,
go away.
Pete?
But yeah, thank you everyone for coming and staying along, watching right the way through the whole sheep shearing demonstration. I hope you all enjoyed it. Good. Excellent. Good job, Bonnie. Yes.
Yeah, you want the job?
Can I have my bag?
You want the stage, Pete, or you want...
No, you can do it, Pete, because you know what's... Actually, I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm not entirely sure. He's giving away a mug.
Do you want that? Mate, I'll switch this one off. Could you hit that mute? Hit the mute button?
Here's the mic. Have you ran this competition already?
All right.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Good man. Thank you.
Do they not? Right. Well, you want to come up? And stand behind me. Right.
Yeah.
Did you get dropped? I'll stand by the speaker.
All right, that'll do. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you've all enjoyed your day. And thank you all for coming out. And a big thank you to the Wilson family for coming down. I mean, these are very busy people. To take a day out and come down, we very much appreciate it. Now, we've got a giveaway. We ran a little competition on the 636 Club. Have anybody heard of the 636 Club? Well, thank you. And it's not tickets for the latest Oasis gig or tickets to the British Grand Prix tomorrow, which we're all very excited about. It's to win this, all right? This Farmer Pete mug, it's got a chip in it, I'm afraid, and we've used this all year to weigh the milk out for the baby lambs, and we decided to give it.
Seriously? Seriously?
Yeah. Well, it's one and only.
I don't know how you guys turn a profit, giving all that stuff away, honestly.
Well, I mean, we couldn't sell it because it's chip in it. Waste not, want not. Lizzie signed it, and maybe Cammy will be good enough to sign it for us as well.
I'll do that.
There you are.
There we go. Oh, definitely, Pete.
Oh yeah. Well, I've already got my signature on it there.
You need a real one. You can trace it.
It comes with one of those. So yeah, we asked everybody to email in, and we've got all the names in the hat. We'll send it anywhere in the world. Now, world famous Julianne wrote the names down, but unfortunately she didn't write down where everybody's from. So when we announce it, we can't tell you where the person's from. But
Oh, that's good.
it's a surprise element.
It's very 636, isn't it? It's very
Maybe Cammy,
636.
you can pull one out of there for us, and one unlucky winner is going to win this mug that we've used all year. I'll let you know. There you go.
Okay. It is Cynthia Lovell. So Cynthia, I hope you're watching on the stream somewhere.
Well, hopefully.
Over there, yeah, Cynthia Lovell. I think I've still got my mic on, hopefully you can hear that all right. There you go, Pete.
Cynthia Lovell, thank you so much. And I'm not sure what part of the world you're in, Cynthia, but maybe if you put a comment in if you're watching and let us know, and we'll find your details and we'll send that off to you in whatever part of the world you're in. So thank you very much, everybody. And yeah, I mean, we don't spare any expense here at this point, so. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming. And hopefully, see you all next year.
Sounds good. If anyone's wanting a wee photo or anything like that, you can just come in and we'll do it in the trailer here if you want. I'll just do that. I'll just pop that for you. No, that's right. Oh, one of them's running about with some person about here somewhere, and the other one is sleeping. So they are here. They've been running riot. And you come.
Someone's watching the qualifying right now and they said we won. Oh, I know that. I'm joking.
Right. I'm have a seat.
Good job. That is Shearing D.
We're getting in for the photo.
2025.
You get out of the way.
Shearing Day 2025 is finished. Thank you everyone so much for joining us, and we will see you all on Monday.
Of course.
See you on Monday. Reason updates coming later on today on Dalscone Daily, so keep up on that, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Thanks to Cammy and Lizzie and the Sheep Game for coming to see us, and yeah, we'll see you on Monday. Bye guys.
There's a cutter there somewhere.